Marcus is just so much more motivating than my old trainer, Nicole said, toweling off after what she claimed was an intense cardio session at Elite Fitness. He really knows how to push me to my limits. I looked at my wife of 8 years, noting the flush in her cheeks, the way her eyes lit up when she mentioned Marcus Rivera's name, and the fact that her workouts had mysteriously started lasting 3 hours despite her gym bag never containing any sweaty clothes. He sounds very dedicated to his clients, I replied calmly, already planning how I would destroy both their lives using Marcus's own arrogance as the weapon. My name is Stephen Walsh, and at 43, I've learned that the most effective revenge isn't about confronting your enemies. It's about letting them confess their crimes while thinking they're bragging about their conquests. I work as a corporate investigator specializing in employee misconduct cases, which means I know how to gather evidence, build comprehensive cases, and present findings that end careers permanently. When Nicole decided to trade our marriage for personal training sessions, she unknowingly made herself and her lover subjects of the most thorough investigation I'd ever conducted. The affair had been obvious for months. Nicole's sudden obsession with fitness, her insistence on working with only Marcus Rivera, her new wardrobe of increasingly revealing workout clothes, and her post-gym glow that had nothing to do with exercise. But instead of confronting them, I did what any professional investigator does when building a case. I gathered evidence systematically and waited for the perfect moment to present my findings. Marcus Rivera was exactly the kind of predator that thrived in gym environments. 28 years old, perfectly sculpted physique, the kind of aggressive confidence that certain married women found irresistible. He specialized in private training sessions for affluent wives whose husbands were too busy working to notice their extended absence from home. The genius of my plan was that I wouldn't need to spy on them or catch them in compromising positions. I would simply let Marcus confess to everything while thinking he was impressive another potential client. I approached this the way I approached all my corporate investigations, by creating an environment where the subject would voluntarily reveal information that would destroy them. The setup was simple. I joined Elite Fitness under a fake name, using a shell company credit card and falsified address. I presented myself as David Brennan, a recently divorced executive looking to get back in shape and explore new social opportunities. More importantly, I presented myself as someone who admired Marcus's reputation with female clients and wanted to learn his techniques. "Man, you've got quite the following with the ladies here," I said to Marcus during my third session, nodding toward a group of married women who'd been eyeing him obviously. "That's some serious client dedication." Marcus's ego couldn't resist the bait. "Yeah, these suburban wives need more than just fitness training, you know? They need someone who understands their full range of needs." "That's professional dedication right there." "Professional?" Marcus laughed, lowering his voice conspiratorially. "Dude, half these women are paying me to satisfy needs their husbands can't handle. The training sessions are just an excuse." Perfect. My hidden recording device was capturing every word. Over the next month, I became Marcus's confidant and biggest admirer. He bragged about his conquests with shocking detail, names, addresses, intimate specifics about the married women he was sleeping with during training sessions. Nicole was just one of 7 married clients Marcus was servicing regularly. Jennifer Patterson, whose husband was a prominent surgeon. Lisa Chen, married to a successful attorney. Michelle Rodriguez, whose husband owned 3 restaurants. All of them paying Elite Fitness for personal training while their trainer was providing very different services. But Marcus's biggest mistake was describing his system for manipulating these women. How he identified vulnerable marriages, escalated physical contact during sessions, and gradually seduced clients who were seeking attention their husbands weren't providing. "The key is making them feel special," he explained during one particularly detailed confession. "These women are starving for validation. You tell them their husbands don't appreciate their bodies, that they deserve better, and they'll do anything to prove they're still desirable." "Genius strategy," I encouraged, letting him provide more evidence of his predatory behavior. The final recording session was the masterpiece. Marcus detailed his rotation system, specific days for specific clients, how he scheduled overlapping affairs without detection, and his long-term plans to extract money from these women beyond just training fees. "Nicole Walsh is the perfect example," he said, not knowing he was describing my wife to her husband. "Married to some boring corporate guy who works all the time. She's desperate for excitement, willing to pay premium rates for specialized training, and completely convinced that what we have is special." 2 days later, I presented my complete evidence package to multiple recipients simultaneously. Elite Fitness Corporate received recordings of their trainer admitting to systematic sexual misconduct with multiple married clients, violation of professional ethics, and using company facilities for prostitution services. The husbands of Marcus's other 6 clients received detailed evidence packages showing their wives were paying for sexual services disguised as fitness training. Local news received an anonymous tip about a fitness trainer running a prostitution ring targeting married women at an upscale gym chain. The state licensing board received documentation of Marcus's violations of professional conduct standards. Marcus was fired within hours. Elite Fitness terminated his employment, revoked his access, and banned him from all franchise locations to protect themselves from lawsuits. The gym chain immediately implemented new policies requiring supervision of all personal training sessions. But the real destruction came from the other husbands. Jennifer Patterson's surgeon husband sued Marcus for alienation of affection and won a $200,000 judgment. Lisa Chen's attorney husband had Marcus charged with fraud for accepting payment under false pretenses. Michelle Rodriguez's restaurant owner husband had him beaten so severely that he required reconstructive facial surgery. Nicole lost her affair partner, her gym membership, and her reputation in our social circle when word spread about the fitness trainer prostitution scandal. She tried to claim she was a victim who'd been manipulated, but the recordings proved she'd been an enthusiastic participant who'd recommended Marcus to other wives. 6 months later, Marcus was unemployed, facing multiple lawsuits, banned from the fitness industry, and sporting permanent facial scars from his encounter with Michelle's husband. Nicole was living with her sister, working at a department store, and desperately trying to rebuild her life after losing both her marriage and her social standing. I was promoted to senior partner at my firm, largely due to my expertise in building comprehensive misconduct cases that resulted in total professional destruction. Sometimes people ask if I feel guilty about destroying so many marriages simultaneously. I tell them the truth. I didn't destroy anything. I simply documented the destruction that was already happening and ensured everyone involved understood the true nature of the relationships they were paying for. Marcus thought he was running a sophisticated operation targeting vulnerable women. He never realized he was confessing to a professional investigator who specialized in documenting exactly his kind of predatory behavior. The gym was just his hunting ground. I made it his graveyard.